In the quiet town of Willow Creek, the old Route 66 diner was a haven for locals seeking comfort in greasy burgers and bottomless coffee. On a crisp Saturday afternoon, 17-year-old Emily wheeled herself through the door, her crutches propped beside her in the chair. Born with cerebral palsy, she had learned to navigate the world with a quiet determination that often went unnoticed. Today, she craved normalcy, a solo lunch away from her overprotective parents. The waitress, Martha, greeted her with a warm smile and led her to a booth near the window. Emily ordered a cheeseburger and fries, feeling a rare sense of independence as she scrolled through her phone. The peace shattered when 3 teenage boys from the local high school sauntered in. They were the type who thrived on attention, loud, cocky, and cruel. Spotting Emily alone, they exchanged smirks and slid into the booth behind her. At first, it was whispers, "Look at the cripple trying to act normal." Then louder taunts, "Hey, Wheels, need help eating that?" Emily ignored them, focusing on her food as it arrived, but her hands trembled slightly. The diner patrons glanced over but said nothing, uncomfortable in the awkward silence. Emboldened by the lack of intervention, the ringleader, a tall kid named Jake, leaned over and knocked her soda glass, spilling it across the table. Laughter erupted from his friends. "Oops, clumsy much," he sneered. Emily's cheeks burned as she tried to mop it up with napkins. But Jake wasn't done. He reached over and slapped her plate hard, sending the burger flying to the floor and fries scattering across her lap. The slap echoed like a crack in the room. A few customers gasped, but no one moved. Emily sat frozen, tears welling in her eyes, humiliation washing over her. Jake high-fived his buddies. "That's what you get for taking up space, freak." Martha hurried over, apologizing profusely and offering to remake the order, but Emily shook her head, whispering that she just wanted to leave. As the boys continued mocking her, an older trucker in the corner quietly pulled out his phone. He had seen enough. Dialing a number from memory, he spoke low, "Hey, Bear, it's Tom from the road. Got a situation at the Route 66 diner. Some punks just assaulted a disabled girl, slapped her food right off the table. She's in a wheelchair, man. You and the crew nearby?" On the other end, a deep voice growled acknowledgement. The Iron Riders Motorcycle Club, a group of veterans and rough-around-the-edges guardians who patrolled the highways protecting the vulnerable, were just an hour out. "We're coming," Bear said simply. Word spread subtly through the diner as Martha cleaned up the mess. Emily gathered her things, determined not to cry in front of them. The boys ordered milkshakes, celebrating their win. Outside, the sun dipped lower, and the distant rumble of engines began to build on the horizon, unnoticed at first amid the clatter of plates and murmurs of regretful patrons. The rumble grew louder, turning heads in the diner. A dozen motorcycles pulled into the gravel lot, chrome gleaming under the fading light. The Iron Riders dismounted, big men in leather vests patched with emblems of service and solidarity, their presence commanding without a word. Leading them was Bear, a grizzled ex-Marine with a beard down to his chest and eyes that had seen too much war to tolerate injustice at home. They filed through the door, boots thudding like thunder, the bell jingling in protest. The diner fell silent. Jake and his friends froze mid-laugh, milkshakes forgotten. Bear scanned the room, his gaze landing on Emily, who had paused at the door, unsure whether to flee. He nodded to her gently, then turned to the boys' booth. The other bikers fanned out subtly, not threatening but filling the space with undeniable authority. "Heard there was trouble here," Bear said, voice calm but resonant. "Something about disrespecting a young lady." Jake tried to play it cool. "Just messing around, man. No big deal." His friends nodded nervously. Bear didn't raise his voice. Instead, he pulled up a chair and sat across from them, his massive frame dwarfing the table. "Messing around? Slapping food out of a girl's hands because she's different? That's not messing, that's cowardice." The other riders stood nearby, arms crossed, silent support. One biker, a woman named Hawk with tattoos covering her arms, wheeled over to Emily and knelt beside her. "You okay, sweetheart? We're here for you." Emily nodded, tears finally spilling, but this time from relief. The patrons watched in awe as Bear continued. "We ride for people like her, folks the world tries to break. You think strength is picking on someone who can't fight back easy? Real strength is protecting them." The boys squirmed, faces pale. Bear made them clean up the mess themselves, handing them rags under the watchful eyes of his crew. Then he had them apologize, genuine words, not mumbled excuses. Jake stuttered out a sorry, eyes downcast. But Bear wasn't done. He invited Emily back to a clean booth and had Martha bring her a fresh meal on the house, the whole club chipping in to pay. They sat with her, sharing stories of their own scars, physical and otherwise, making her laugh for the first time that day. As the evening wore on, the bullies left quietly, heads low, forever changed by the encounter. Word of the riders' intervention spread through town, a reminder that guardians exist in unexpected forms. Emily left the diner escorted by the club, head high. From that day, she found new confidence, even starting a local group for disabled teens. The Iron Riders checked in often, their roar a promise of protection. In Willow Creek, the diner became a symbol not of humiliation, but of unexpected justice and the power of standing together.